Hello there.
Pick that up, Aaron. Pick that phone up now. What are you doing? Leaving them hanging? Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I'm not falling into the Liam trap, and that phone's already been picked up, so...
Yeah, true. With Liam's phone, it wasn't picked up. It just kept ringing and ringing and ringing, and he was like, "It will be answered downstairs. That is all." So, yeah.
Sorry. It was playing in a different tab, so I was hearing like your voice twice, and I was like... and I was...
Creepy.
Yeah.
This is the gaming channel, and welcome to the ALP podcast. Today I am with Aaron.
Hello there.
And we shall be reviewing the IT Crowd at approximately 8:22 p.m. Oh wait, no, it's the fartist first. It would be cool to do a podcast in the Liam voice and the Liam mannerism. I might do a gaming channel parody one day because I know YouTubers used to parody each other. Like KSI did one of Deji, and I think Deji did one of KSI and all that jazz. I think you did a parody of an old friend that we used to hang around with who was a bit of an odd bod.
I did one on my old channel, and I was like... 15.
Yeah.
I did 3. I remember doing 3.
Oh, you did 2 other ones, fair?
Yeah,
I think I know which one. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's pretty banterous. All 3 of the Minecraft madmen. Fair enough. But yeah, first things first. Let's do a bit of the cheeky fartist. So, this is the first one then. Having a wild time with Agent Possible. Now, I'll give you both the initials with this one. It's KW.
Could you repeat the clue? I think I've got it.
Having a wild time with Agent Possible.
Yeah, I think I've got this. Is it Kim Wilde?
Yeah. I should have just said K. Yeah, because Kim Possible,
Yeah.
you know, the agent from Disney, and Kim Wilde, who sings "We're the Kids in America." Whoa. So, yeah, you got that one. I did a Oh dear, George. Well, I'm not surprised at that. After what you said on the last podcast about underage anime people, I'm not surprised that you did that. Well, it wasn't a parody; it was a real thing, wasn't it? That you did.
This is what you should be using to prepare for court.
Yeah. Because of George starting the OnlyFans without our permission, we'll just take him to court over saying bizarre things, and they just play the footage of like, I don't know the politically correct term, but you are retarded. and there's and remember the bit when you were looking up their ages and George was like,
yeah, he didn't say a word. He was just like,
I was like, George, you look scared, and he was like, well, I'm not. I just don't see why you fucking care about the ages, and why can't you just fucking relax? And then you went, relax. Oh, classics. Let me find. Well, not classics. They're pretty low moments on the podcast. But yeah. All right. So I'm trying to find. Here we go. Is the next one. So the next one is, and Mike Tyson wins by first round KO. S.
oh, this is a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't want to give both the initials because you'll just get it instantly.
Mike Tyson wins by knockout in the first round. Is that it?
Yeah.
S. I have no idea. S. I know it's not this, but I'll just say it as a guess anyways. Smashing Pumpkins.
No, but very close. Very close.
Oh. can't think of any other band or artist that. No, I'm gonna have to skip on this one. I genuinely can't think of anything.
All right, I'll give you the initials then. SM.
SM. I genuinely can't think of any bands or artists that S&M.
Right, do you give up then?
Yeah, I'd have to throw in the towel here.
Yeah. It is somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. Smash Mouth.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Fair enough. And then the final one, well, for today, is where is it? Here we go. So I figured out my producer is only out for the money. So I made a song on the slide. What? Oh, I wrote that twice, sorry. So I figured out my producer is only out for the money. So I made a song on the slide. And the initial is L. This is a pretty hard one.
Hell, I can't even think of anything that begins with the letter L. No, genuinely, I can't think of anything that begins with any band or artist. No, I can't think of anything.
You sure you don't want to throw a guess in there or anything?
I can't even think of a band though. Oops. No, I genuinely can't even think of one, so I'll have to just throw in the towel on this one again.
Oh, your mic sort of making a farting noise just to warn you.
Oh. Wait. Is that a bit better now?
No, that's a bit. That's a bit worse. Well, it was worse for a second, but yeah, it's really bad.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm just going to test if it's something on my end. Right, nothing on my end.
Even I can hear that.
Well, I'll Oh no, George has put this. I'm not even going to read this out. That's a horrible piece of slander from George, as always. Still, what are you? As he's just farting into the mic, yeah. Well, you just off your head, George. You're absolutely off your head with that horrible slanderous claim. And Aaron probably is farting into the mic, yeah. So daft on your end, isn't it? So, yeah. Now on to amazing, awful animals.
Is this any better?
It still sounds the same. Right, start saying shit.
I couldn't hear them.
I'll just start saying some shit. Let's see how it sounds.
Hello. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. No, even I can hear that. Is that any good or?
That sounds alright to me, yeah.
Alright. That's right. I think it was two of the cables we took. So yeah, I was just completely right about what you said, didn't I?
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Well, let's continue with the amazing, awful animals.
Okay.
So this is the first story. 18 tigers, 17 lions, 8 bears, 3 cougars, 2 wolves, 1 baboon, 1... What's that say?
Macaque.
What the hell's a macaque?
It's like a bird, isn't it? A tropical bird.
Oh. And 1 man dead in Ohio.
Sounds like one of George's good weekends away. In this certain caravan.
Yeah, so basically this geezer kept all these animals, which is absolutely insane. I mean, I was quite baffled that that lady kept a chimp for so long, and then it went ballistic because it was on drugs, and obviously ripped that lady's face and hands off, and went ballistic, and then got shot by the police. But this takes it to a whole other level. Because the thing is, at least, as much as I don't agree with keeping wild animals like chimps and all that jazz, at least the chimp proved to like be chill for years and years. Like, wasn't it 11 years that the chimp was chill for? But this, 18 tigers, 17 lions, that bears. Why would you keep all these animals in your home? It's just bizarre.
It's because they're sentimental.
Maybe that is the case. But yeah, at 5 o'clock on the evening of the 18th of October 2011, as the day began, Ebe Ebaway, a retired school teacher named Sam Kopchak, left the home he shared with his 84-year-old mother, who headed into padlock behind the house to Red half Albanian Pinto was acting skittish and had moved toward the far corner of the field on the other side. Wasn't overly alarmed, expected the bear wasn't too big. I want to get to the bit with how it all broke down, even though it's quite sad. Like, let's just skip to the end. Let's see how the shit hit the wall. Bloody hell, it's quite a big bloody story, isn't it? Jeez. Okay, so there wasn't like some weird animal escape plan. No one knew where Thompson was, and also there was a concern for his safety. Maybe the animals were somehow busted out. He was injured, in need of help. After Deputy Merry headed down for pursuit of the wolf sergeant who had been on the scene. He gave Mr. Thompson's house as he neared the farm buildings, saw the animals. Their cages had been cut through or left open. Blake had sounded the horn Thompson's house, but there was no response, so he drove back. John the caretaker, who regularly fed the animals, had been alerted by a phone call. Someone in the neighbourhood to give their return. Found nothing but 2 monkeys and a dog in cages. I don't mean to laugh at that side. Obviously, it's a tragic event. But on their way, white tiger appeared to be eating it. Oh, there's even... Bloody hell, this story goes on forever. Look at where we are. This is mad. What the hell? My goodness. No one has time for this. Right. 3 days before Thompson died, the instructor spoke with him. Wait. Thompson talked about the split. He threw up his arm, saying something, and said, she can just have it, or... And that's when he said, I'm going to die. Terry, you sick? I said, I know, but you'll know when I go. Well, sorry about that. That was quite a boring... Well, not boring, but like, it just seems to go on forever. I thought there was like some mad story, but the animals broke out and must have killed him, so... Quite a sad one, but why would you keep so many wild animals? Like, the thing is, these meat eaters, like lions, they want to hunt. They love the thrill of the hunt and being a predator. All the meat eaters do. So I don't see what do you expect? They're going to get bored. They want that thrill of trying to hunt something and eat something. So Aaron is giving us ASMR right now. Did you ever hear of the chimp that ripped? I think that's what I mentioned earlier. Wasn't there a slope bird? What?
It might be. No, I might be overthinking that, but knowing George, that might be something you might not want to say.
What's it mean? Could you put it in the private chat? I don't get the joke that George is saying. Let's have a look in the book.
Might be.
Ah, okay, typical George, typical George. Uh, but yeah, well, that was amazing. Awful Animals. What do you think of that story?
Uh, I don't really know what to say. It was basically a man with too many animals and the inevitable happen.
Yeah, I guess you can't really be too surprised that they went ballistic and just killed him because at the end of the day, they are just absolute mad lad predators. So
Yeah,
yeah,
Jay. All I'm saying is it's a good thing you didn't say what he said because George just sent a meme saying, "I fooled you, I fooled you," and I'm like, George, I warned James.
yeah. If it wasn't for you being here, I would have read that out. But the thing is,
I'm closing Messenger now, so you can't interact with me now, George.
well, I've just looked it up and I can't find anything about it.
George is. Oh,
Yeah, just
I'll. There you go. That's what George was referencing.
oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness I didn't read the whole thing out. Rubbish, George. Rubbish from you. Bloody wasting your dime and time. Ridiculous.
Wasting our
Anyway.
time.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. But let's just move on to the IT crowd anyway. So the thing is with the IT crowd, what I really like about it is how there's not really any bad episodes. I really like how all the characters act pistol mental in it because the thing is with a lot of sitcoms, you're always going to get that character who's overly sensible, who's like, well, this situation is very weird and odd. But like in the IT crowd, none of the characters are like that. None of the characters act really realistic. So it gives the writers and even the story itself like free range to just go absolutely ballistic because no one's going to say you need to calm down. Everyone's just acting daft and being very over the top. So yeah, one of my favourite moments was I don't know why it made me laugh so much, but Douglas going, "There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. There's somebody at the door. Hey, it's my G." And then he's like, "I'm the boss. I'm your boss." And even though the episode wasn't very good, when he's like, "Pack it up, boys! It's hammer time!" And then you just got Moss and Roy going, "Help, help!" And then Moss is like, Jen, help! I can still interact on here. Not if I ban you and your 15 porn accounts. I think that was George. It was moronic. It isn't even funny. It's not like you got me to say anything funny. It's just mildly offensive. Well, it's fairly offensive, and it makes you look like a bit of a bum putting stupidness like that. So, yeah. What else is cool about it? Let me think. So, a lot of the characters, they don't really change much over the series, which I don't really mind too much because it is just meant to be a comedy at the end of the day. It's more about the situations that get put in, like Roy's put in awkward situations, like when he tries to get with that model who has who'd been in the bad car accident. Instead of just trying to talk to her and get to know her, he's just like, "Oh, she's a model," but then he's like, he's looking at it in the magazine, then he puts the magazine by her face and then puts it down, and he's like, "So how bad was the accident then?" And he's just more dedicated with that. Morris Moss is like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" When the woman who plays Stevie and Miranda is touching him up, and obviously Richmond absolutely loves that socially awkward lady. She was pretty good bants. One thing actually I don't like about the show is where the hell did Richmond go midway through? I didn't notice he was gone, but he's such a funny banter character. Why did they get rid of him? I know he comes back at court in the end, and he's like, "Goth to God" and all that jazz, and being pretty funny. But I don't get why they got rid of him.
I think they just couldn't write him into many episodes, to be honest.
No, probably right, because I feel like they sort of did all the weirdness and the funniness with him, and I suppose his character is sort of just that he's a bit of a posh weird goth, which is funny, but I guess you can only go so far with it, and he's a bit of a bleak character. James, the IT cloud was so boring and unfunny. You saw I didn't laugh at Ben's. Okay. I don't really care what you think, George. It's your opinion, isn't it? I mean, me and Aaron think it's hilarious, and you only watched a bit of it, and you probably don't understand the humour or the jokes, or you find it a little bit too true to see. When you
Yeah, but George, you've got to watch the entire series all the way through 10 times, and then you'll like it.
Yeah, just keep watching it, George. Do the thing that you do with the shows. Just keep watching it over and over and over and over and over again until you think it's the number one best thing ever.
Yep. Got to convince yourself it's the best.
Exactly. I was going to say as well, even though the characters don't change much over the series, there was one big change they made, a risky ballsy move, which I really, really like, and that is killing off Mr. Renham in series 1. And obviously it was done in such a funny way because his assistant comes in, and because at first he's like, oh yes, we're doing amazing, billion quid, la-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And then the assistant comes in and says, the police are here to talk about pension irregularities. And as he always is, he's calm, cool, collected. He's like, all right, can you do me a cup of tea? I'll be down in a second. And he just casually walks up to the window, flicks the window open, and just jumps out like, wee, like that. And then you're like, shit, they just killed off like one of the few characters that's on there, because all the characters really were at that point was, well, there ain't many characters on there in general, is there? But there's Moss, Roy, Jen, Richmond, and obviously Mr. Renham. And they killed him off at the end, well, at the start of series 2, and it's like, damn, that's crazy. And obviously in that there's a subplot where Roy is like, I'm gonna die at 3 o'clock, no. And then the legendary Douglas arrives and he's like, Father! And then he runs up to the coffin and pushes it over. Then he starts fighting Neil's dad in it like this. And Neil's dad's like, it's honestly amazing. It's so
You should say
hilarious.
the vicar, not just Neil's dad, in case no one knows.
Oh yeah, the vicar in the show, yeah. And straight away, because the thing is, a part of you is a part of me thought, obviously I knew that they didn't get rid of the characters, but maybe watching it at the time you might think, shit, Mr. Renham got killed off. What if this bloke who's under Mr. Renham fires the IT crowd and then like some new people replace them as well? Like shit, But thankfully, that was not the case at all, because Douglas came in and said, and I'm firing you! Which was pretty cool to that second-in-command bloke. And that's being a hypocrite, because you're always making fun of disabled people with stammers, but God forbid you... What does this even mean?
This is the most insert, I don't know, the political retarded thing you've ever said. One of them.
I mean, that is by far the stupidest thing you've said, George. I don't know the politically correct term, but you are ridiculous, man. I don't understand it, honestly. So, you're the only person with a stammer I've made fun of is you, and you don't actually have a stammer, you just go, it. It's not like you actually have a stammer. You don't repeat the word over and over again. You just go, it. Obviously there's nothing wrong with that.
You get 50 quid each time you do it. No, I'm joking.
And the thing is as well, George, it's the jokes that you make aren't funny. They're just really, really mean, and you just want a reaction. While me going, it is making everyone laugh.
I mean, let's just move on, because we don't need to discuss this on the thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous from GC right there. But yeah, Douglas is absolutely hilarious, man. And it was a ballsy move that they killed that guy off, to be fair, that Mr. Renham, his dad. Very, very ballsy. What's your thoughts on the show? Because I pretty much dominated this bit, so what's your thoughts on the show as a whole so far?
I was going to make this point when I realised it's a bit weird, but the only normal people on the show are people you don't see on the show. It was just like people working in the building in the back and all that. Whereas obviously the weird ones are all of them, and you think, well, there's not even just one sort of stable character. They can all go a bit mad, which is all right.
Yeah, 100%.
I think what was it as well? I completely forgot my point. Oh, it was. Yeah, I think the show is. I think they know when stuff's funny. It doesn't, because although it has a laugh track, which I don't usually like, I
Yeah.
think with a lot of shows that have laugh tracks, they put them in for stuff that isn't funny.
True, yeah, very basic stuff. Like someone will go, "Bah-bah!" and then they'll go, ah, and it's just like, mate, that wasn't funny, But yeah, I like how the characters, for God's sake,
All
you
I'm going
saying,
to say is you should see the hidden comments. I can't even read them on here, James.
could you copy and paste some of them into the private chat, maybe? You saying it is mean and offensive, so hypocrisy. How is me saying it offensive and hypocrisy? I don't understand that, George. I don't get it at all. Well, you saying really nasty things and trying to get people to read them out, that's apparently funny when no one's laughing. I don't get it, George. Don't understand it.
That's the worst one. So. Oh, that's not the worst one. Oh.
Wow, George. I think you're spending too much time. I've just Aaron sent me one of the comments in the private chat. I don't understand what you're doing with yourself, George. Disgraceful.
Obviously, don't say any of that. But ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, GC.
You've said loads of nasty things, George. What are you talking about? Oh, God. This is disgusting, George. This is really disgusting. Let's get back on.
Well, I can read this part. The amount of times he said, it's the shit crowd, lol. And then just put, like, laughing face and stuff.
Very weak banter, isn't it? But yeah, obviously there are some of the mad characters in there, though. Most characters you interact with are quite mad. I like the one where I like how at the end of the dinner party one, where he's like, "Pedophile, pedophile, pedophile, I'm pedophile," and everyone's just looking like, "What the fuck's going on?" That was absolutely hilarious. The one with the magician's kind of funny as well, because how he genuinely looks like a magician. That's absolutely hilarious, and he's trying to learn magic tricks to say with Jen, and she's like, "Nah." At first, you might sort of think, oh, maybe Jen's one of the only normal people, but then you realise she's absolutely mad. She goes mad for the shoes, she goes mad smoking. I like callbacks to certain things as well, like Maurice Moss's ear spray. He uses it in the first episode, and he uses it in one of the final episodes. No, he uses it in the court episode, spraying. That was pretty cool. He's like, hot ear. The one where the gay show one's absolutely hilarious, where they work out in one, and Roy just sort of flops on the floor in the disabled toilets, and he just keeps going, "I'm disabled," and they all pick him up and carry him round, and he goes, "Oh, the police!" And then the policeman goes, "What's going on here?" Then he goes, "I'm disabled."
Didn't he say he stole his wheelchair?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And all the staff are seeing him off, and then he's just on the bus being slowly raised up, and it's going, boo, and he's just like this smiling.
Was he going to Manchester or somewhere in London?
Well, no, at first it went back down, because they were like, oh, the stars of the show want to talk to you. And then this woman saying, oh, you're gay and disabled, it's quite a big struggle, isn't it? And then Jen sees him in the wheelchair, and she's like, what the hell's going on? And then one of the blokes, the one who tried to tickle that Scottish bloke at the start, he comes in and goes, oh, you Irish always messing about, laddie, no, I'm disabled. Then he chucks one of the disabled people out of the wheelchair, and they're like, "What the fuck?" and beat him up. Then he gets then it all ends. Then he goes back on the bus, and then he goes off to Manchester. And then Jay's dad says, "Let's sing a few songs, then, lads." And then they're all going, "I love Willies, I love Willies."
Isn't that the one where Maurice is one of the bartenders and just
He goes
destroys all the glasses?
because he goes in the staff change room and they force him to be a part of the work staff, and then but at the start of the episode, and Maurice says, "Oh, that bloke must think you look like a man, Jen." And then afterwards, "James, you should sing the song." "No, I'm not singing that song, George. But you can watch the show and find out the song for yourself and sing it yourself." So, he... and then the Scottish bloke says about how he's gay, and then he says, "It's only because you look like a man, I thought it could work." And obviously Morris said that Jen looks like a man at the start. Trying to think what other funny episodes are off the top of my head. I really like the countdown one's absolutely sick because it puts Maurice Moss in like a really sick situation. Like, he's the man. It's like a parody of Fight Club, and they even copy the rules. They're like, first rule of a street countdown, tell everyone because we want more people in, and it's just absolute bants. And Maurice is in like this, high cool position when usually a geeky guy like that wouldn't be in a sort of alpha chatty position. They'd just sort of be, well, in their regular position, wouldn't they? So, Maurice as a bartender.
No. Don't read that out loud.
Oh. No, he's far better than that person at their job. He's far better at the person you referenced in the comments. So, yeah. Bad Boys is quite funny because you're thinking to yourself, shit, what did Maurice do to get in trouble? And then they're staring at that man off the bus, but then he gets in the bus and he's like, "What are you looking at?" and all that jazz. And you think, shit, what's he going to get in trouble for? But then they go in, and I thought it was because he ended up on the wrong side of the police line, but it was actually because he robbed the video games from earlier, and that's why he had to do 3 hours of community service. The French guy, and it was quite funny as well. He was like, "What do you need to do? Have you tried to install it off again?" Do you remember the bloke who Jen phoned to try and fix the laptop, but he was useless?
Sort of, very vaguely. Is that the one where she says she likes all the viruses because she likes to look at them or something?
Yeah, it was something really weird. She likes loads of stuff being on a screen. Very strange. I like how the one where she tries to learn Italian. That was pretty funny. And the bloke's just going mad, and Mr. Renham's like, "What the hell is going on?" And then he blames the woman who's doing a virtual run. That was pretty funny. What else was cool? I like we talked a bit about this before the podcast started, but the one where where Mr. Renham's talking to an interviewer and she ends up being a man. But she was previously a man before she had the sex change. And then he's like, "I don't care, it's all right." And then afterwards he says, when they're about to when he asks her to marry him or whatever, he's like, "And just to think you thought I wouldn't want to be with you because you're from Iran." And she's like, "No, I'm a man." And he's like, "Oh." And then they end up getting in a massive, hilarious fight. And it's just all over the place. That one was pretty next level. And that's the same episode as the internet one, isn't it? Because they go flying through the door. They go flying through the glass, having a fight while everything's breaking down.
I think so, yeah. I think it is.
Yeah, because they say to Jen, like, this black box with a button on it is the internet. And what's brilliant is that everyone thinks it's the internet, apart from Moss and Roy. So that one was pretty good. What other decent ones are there? I liked I like the intro to the one where it's like the Scientology parody, and he's like spinning round loads and zooming in and out of the camera. Douglas, that one was pretty good. What other decent shit is in there? Oh yeah, we might as well just talk about the finale actually now. I haven't really got much else I can think to say about it, to be honest, apart from it's paced really well. I like how the characters are really, they're sort of, you can relate to them more than like, I don't know, like some American characters, like obviously in Friends they're all objectively, well, the geezers in it are objectively good looking, and Rachel, Monica and Phoebe are objectively and subjectively good looking, and well, maybe not now subjectively, but I think they probably all look good for 50, don't they? So yeah, would you agree, Aaron, or am I shooting too far? Whoops.
No, it was decent. I can't really remember too much about it, but it was all right send off.
George, what the hell is this?
Oh my!
Why have you done this, George? Get out of here! I don't get why. Why did he waste his time making that account?
You should see. I'm not going to read them, but the amount of comments that are hidden by his porn accounts are ridiculous.
I don't understand George at all. I don't get why he's trying to grab onto the attention so much. But yeah. But what the hell were we even talking about just then anyway? I genuinely can't.
I said and then George did what he did.
Yeah, so in the finale, they've all got shit going on. It's 47 minutes. Moss is trying to become more confident with his web series. Jen accidentally throws hot boiling coffee on a homeless person. Oh yeah, Will's mom comes back in that from the Inbetweeners. She's in Renan versus Renan, which is absolutely hilarious. That one's a brilliant finale with all the court crap, and they just totally botch everything. But instead, she just settles for 70 million instead of 200 odd million, which is a pretty good bants. And the court, is your name Moss? Is it not? Maurice Moss? Is it not? And then, oh yeah, that one where Roy gets his ass kissed by the soldier. That was absolutely hilarious. He's like, he kissed me on my bum. And he takes him to court over it. George, you made that bloody Happy Chappy account? That was definitely you, George. I'm sorry.
I just want to say, if the cameras keep lagging out, it's a StreamYard issue. It's not my internet or James's.
Yeah, it probably is just a StreamYard issue. But yeah, so basically, Jen obviously gets in trouble for chucking coffee on that homeless lady accidentally, and Roy accidentally gets that dwarf hit by a big a big long wheelbase van with boobies on the front. He gets hit by a booby van. So yeah, and then they sort of get made into like public villains and all that jazz, and everyone's like, well, they're not very good, are they? And they try and clear their names, but instead of like, because Jen gets accused of being a woman hater, they do try and clear their names, but they accidentally put like pepper spray. Well, they don't. They do it on purpose, but the pepper spray is like they think it's makeup because it's put in a makeup bottle, and they're all like, ah, and that ends really badly for them. But in the end, Douglas gets everyone's doing something funny in that episode, which is cool. But in the end, Douglas sort of gets like in trouble, and he ends up on the bottom floor. And then the IT crowd take over Renom Industries for now, or potentially forever, for the rest of the in-show universe, which is sort of nice from really. They're on the bottom floor, and now they're at the top. And I know Renom was an absolutely, like, Douglas was a hilarious character, but in the show he was a bit of a pillock. He was a bit of an arsehole. He was a bit of a useless manager. A useless gaffer over the place, and he was just quite a psychopath. So he sort of deserves to be on the bottom floor, and they deserve to take over, and and for things to go good for them. So nice way to end it. Nice way to end it. They end up doing well for themselves and all that jazz. And for things to go good for them.
Yeah. What else to add, to be honest?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there ain't much else to say, really. Just a really, really great show. I give it like a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's good that... Because the thing is, you get a lot of shows that can potentially go on forever and ever and ever, and they do occasionally, like especially American shows. And that Not Going Out show with Lee, what's his name? The Northern fella
Oh, Lee
from
Mack.
Would I Like... That's it, yeah. That show just went on forever and ever and ever. Well, it seems to have gone on forever and ever and ever. And I just think to myself, like, it just feels like sort of the same crap, you know. And you sort of don't want. I think it is good that a lot of English shows are just 6 episode per series and usually 3 or 4 series because it puts less pressure on the writers and the writers are able to just like put loads of effort into one episode rather than having to do like 22 episodes per season. Sure, it adds a lot more for the viewers potentially, but I feel like things like the IT Crowd are a lot more memorable than like, you know, daft sitcoms with 1 million episodes. And like we can remember a lot of the funny stuff that happens, while in like most like big American sitcoms you can't really remember that much because there's just so much crap in there and some of it's a bit naff. Unless it's stuff like Friends that has been played on the telly 20 billion times, and then you're gonna, even though the moments aren't that funny in my opinion, that objectively funny, you are gonna remember them just because of like how daft they are.
I've just looked up that Not Going Out. It's got 13 series.
I mean, what the hell is that all about, man?
It's got 95 episodes.
I don't know. I mean, Fools and Horses felt like a very long show for an English show, but like, bloody hell, that's just taken the cake, hasn't it? So, ridiculous.
How long is IT Crowd?
IT Crowd is 25 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, 25. Technically 5 seasons, but one season's just the finale, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Not Going Out was given an alright rating. I was just going to look up Last of Some Wine quickly because that's the only other show that I can think went on for ages. Did Red Dwarf go on for a while, or?
I don't know. I'll have a look. Red Dwarf. Well, they had all different ones, didn't they? Like Red Dwarf 1, 2, 3, 4, and all stuff like that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen Blackadder? Is that any good?
Yeah, I don't like the first series, but the other ones are alright.
Okay, I think we should maybe review that then for the Bants one of the days. That would be pretty cool if I eventually watch that. Do you think you'd be game or?
Yeah. Red Dwarf is 74, less than Not Going Out.
74?
Yeah, 74.
Oh.
And how many series is that? 13 seasons.
I was going to say The Last of Summer Wine has 295 episodes. And it went from 1973 to 2010. So, yeah, quite long. But yeah, all I've got to say about the IT Crowd is it's a great show. Definitely watch it. Bellissimo, 9.8 out of 10.
Between let's say 8 there on the course.
An 8 out of 10. Sorry, it's lagging quite a bit on my end. I don't know.
It's fine, my end. I can hear you fine.
Okay. So you said you give it 8 out of 10 then?
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Is
So
your camera?
Is my camera what? Sorry.
Is your wrong? It's been black on my screen for like.
Oh shit. On the stream, it's still there. To be fair,
is mine there? Because I can see myself on the stream.
You look frozen on the stream on my end. It's just like your face, like.
Yeah, I've just checked the.
Now you're moving.
Well, on my yours is like. So, I know what I'll do. I'll leave you or join back.
Fair enough. George, the Big Bong Theory, shite. George, the Big Bong Theory is just what you watch on like bloody Freeview when there's nothing else to watch, mate. It's absolute rubbish. Because the only bit that was decent was like the there was some average episodes early on of the Big Bong Theory. Don't get me wrong, but then it just sort of devolved in, for the most part, just to the characters insulting each other and just boring and funny stuff and crap phrases, and it's just not cool at all. It's definitely something as his end, because James has been fine, but as is freezing and voice jumping. Okay. Yeah. Could be a StreamYard issue, I don't know. But the thing is, on my end, it's been fine. Aaron's never lagged out like this before, so I've never seen it show on TV. It's on Channel 4 all the time, The Big Bang Theories, man. Trust me, it's always on there. Because on holiday, I have like had it on in the past, just because sometimes when I've been on holiday, there is only free view, and it's all right, you know. It's not as I say, that it's not like some of the early episodes are kind of average, and I guess you can switch your brain off and kind of enjoy it a bit. But for the most part, it's just sort of like, you know, it's just if you pay too much attention, it's not really that objectively good, in my opinion. Collaboration. Ben sent this thing. Collaboration between Doctor and Fortnite. Bloody hell. Yeah. George will definitely be squadding up for Fortnite and Doctor Who. Let's get the Azalator in. I know Big Bang is, but it hasn't. But hasn't the It Show? What are you on about? What's the It Show done wrong? The IT crowd, what's it done wrong? It's hilarious. You've only watched one episode, George. So, well, no, you paid a smidge of attention to one episode.
Wait, so that's just logic towards saying that you don't like you've never seen. Oh, is that Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, he's just banging on about the Big Bang Theory.
Are you a wannabe Sheldon, George? No, I'm joking.
Zinga! Thor and Dr. Jones. Thor and Dr. Jones. One plays with lightning, the other plays with... So, yeah, there you go. Well...
Oh, camera's messed up again.
I can't believe this is a podcast that has had the most viewers, but like it's just lagged a bit. It's just like rip. It's just like damn.
Bag of Arse podcast. I mean, the review's all right.
True, yeah, very true. They did, but anyway, they did a DW little event a few months back now. Mm-hmm. But anyway, let's move on to legit or a bit then. That sounds worse than before. What? He sounds all right on my end. So, my legit or a bit is I once farted when one of my college friends was behind me on purpose, really loudly. It's not the friend you know. It's not the person. It's not it's not you. It's not him. Don't worry. It's somebody else.
You do it.
So, Baze, right, what did you ask? Sorry, because it's lagging quite a bit.
Why?
Oh, why?
Yeah.
Basically, we were just walking into the studio, and I was like, "Stop!" And then he was like, What's up?" And then I just went. The boot was like really, really loud, and he was like, "Oh, come on, man!" And then I just walked forward. It was just a bit funny, yeah. Did he? What?
I think you're on the wrong side, George.
George, I think you're thinking of some weird thing you were watching on the internet. He did not give me a sniff. No, that's ridiculous. Give us your thoughts on the Mario trailer. We will have to legit or a bit then. But what do you think, Aaron? Any more questions?
No. I'm just going to put my gut feeling here. I'm going to say it's not true. It is a bit.
It's true. George is like, "That's a lie. You never do that." I should have fucking saved that one for George. For God's sake. Oh, I thought George would have bloody got it right. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, basically, this geese, one of my friends at college, was just walking behind me into the studio, into a media studio, and I just did that for a laugh. I just thought it was hilarious. So I should have used it on George, for fuck's sake, man.
You
What
wouldn't-
made you think it? What made you think it was a lie then?
I just thought that there'd be no reason to it. I thought it'd just be just something odd, you know. Like you'd sort of do it just to like finish off a joke. That's the whole thing. That's what I was thinking.
There wasn't any jokes, sadly. There wasn't. I know it doesn't affect your live streak, George. I'm fuming. Yeah, I'm fuming. You're still the legit or a bit undisputed champion, even though, if I had to guess, I think there's not recent legit or bits, but I think in the past there's definitely been some cheating with you, George, because you've sort of said like, I shoved car parts up my arse to smuggle them into France, and then we're like, well, it's clearly a lie. No, it's true. Yes. And I flew to the moon and back in 5 seconds. Well, it's false. No, it's true. I beat Usain Bolt in a race, and it's a bit. It's true. You know, that's how it just feels sometimes. I thought it was a lie because you'd be pissed off if. Yeah, I mean, it was. if the roles were reversed, I'd just sort of walk backwards and leave the room. I'd just be like, what the hell, and just walk backwards and leave the room. If that friend of mine did that to me instead of me doing that to him, I just sort of thought it was hilarious. But yeah. Anyway, have you got a legit orbit, Aaron, or do you not want to risk it for a biscuit because of the connection? Or
To be honest, I forgot to do one.
okay, fair enough.
I won't do one because of the connection as well. Because I'll probably freeze on a weird frame and
Yeah.
whatever.
I just use strategy on you guys. What are you going on about? No, you don't use. So you lie, mate. That's a strategy. Cheating, lying. I'm lying about the lies because they're all. I'm saying they're true and they're fucking lies. So I'm the champ, George. That's not how it works. So. Anyway, on to cheeky. No, I'm sure you're very good at legit orbit, George. But there are some which I do think, like, mate, you have to be. These could potentially be a lie, you know. Not recent ones, but like years ago. Well, not years ago, probably like a year ago. Anyway, job slobs. Let's do it then. So let me just. All right then. So, would you rather work in game or Curry's PC world?
Oh no. Oh, if I cut out then, James.
Would you rather work in game or Curry's PC world?
Curry's PC world, there's less chance I'd run into George. No, I'm joking.
Oh God. Oh.
I'd probably go. Although I'd be more suited to the game, I'll just go PC world. 'Cause at the end of the day, there's more choice there. You can work on whether.
What do you mean you can work on wherever there?
Like, it's not just all games.
Oh, what other stuff do they do at Curry's PC world?
Well, there's like household stuff. There's like headphones, speakers, laptops, cameras. You could work there any sort of department.
Damn, I had no clue. Well, that is a very good point, but I would go for game just for the shits and bants, just for the game discounts, just for all the little cool collectibles in there, like the Funko Pops and, you know, just like all the games around you. You know, it's just cool, and it smells better than CX, so that's a plus. And it's just purely games as well, so it's just. I'm not poo-pooing CX. CX is mostly great, just apart from. Some CX stores are just absolute bellendiuses with some of the prices they charge. Like you sent me Simpson Siege and Run for £35 on the GameCube. I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, some of the prices they're charging.
Well, I told you, there's a certain place near us that there's 2 CXs, and depending on where you go in.
Aaron, I'm really sorry, but the thing's happening again where the mic's going.
Is there? Is he sure?
I'll add Aaron back in a second. Let's see. Aaron, it's gone black. There we go.
Sounding any better?
Oh yeah, you're a bit quiet, but it sounds better. Yeah. All right. So lying's the name of the game. Well, George, the thing is, are you actually saying that you've cheated on Legit or a bit? Then that is a disgrace. That's an absolute disgrace.
He should reset his account.
Yeah, definitely. Wait, what is his subscriber count or his Legit or a bit count? Did you say?
He's Legit or a bit account. I don't know how we do his subscriber.
Yeah, true. Are you actually really quiet on your end, man? And my volume's full blast, so I'm.
Is that a bit better?
Yeah, perfect.
I turned the audio down on my compressor because I thought that was the issue.
But yeah, George, if you have lied on Legit or a bit about the Legit or a bit you've told, then that is really sad. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Do I sound far away now, George?
Yeah, that sounds far away. Would you rather work at the Spunk Bank or London Bodyguard? Well, obviously the Sperm Bank got less chance of getting stabbed and shot, so that's ridiculous.
Yep.
What would you go?
A bodyguard just for like something.
And inaudible. Well, I can hear Aaron all right now. But yeah, why would you want to be a bloody bodyguard in London, man? It'd be awful. I'm guessing, yeah, it's nightclubs and bouncers or whatever.
I'd go for the first option then, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. Can't blame you at all. But yeah, as you were saying with CEX though, it's just ridiculous some of the prices they charge some of this stuff. And I remember I was buying the Ratchet and Clank trilogy on the PS2, and with CX I was thinking, bloody hell, they're like £5 or whatever, or £6, and then I paid a bit for delivery because I'm pretty sure in like the general area. There wasn't any CX. Well, I'm pretty sure it wasn't in any CXs in the area, and also I just couldn't really be asked with bloody going and buying Ratchet and Clank. Too much of a pain in the ass. But yeah, But then I looked on Amazon, and the original Ratchet and Clank games were for all £50, which is baffling to me. It's purely baffling, man. I don't get it. So Amazon was worse for scalping, but then you've got some things at CX like Simpsons Hit and Run being a shit ton, and you just think to yourself, like, just the consumer just should not buy from if it's a specific CX that's overcharging, just don't buy from there. If all the CX are selling Simpsons Hit and Run for loads of money, then just fucking don't bother. You know what I'm saying? I haven't lied. You sound good now. Thoughts, Aaron?
Oh, he's sounding good now. Oh.
George says you sound good, but you lagged out a little bit to me right there and then. Sorry.
It must be sort of issue with my Wi-Fi, I'm guessing, as well as something to do with StreamYard.
Yeah. Yeah, George has put in the chat, as you saved, James, which I'm glad he did. I'm glad about that. I've wanted to use one of those banks because I wanted more free money, but I was like an hour and a half away. Wait, the nearest one's an hour and a half away. Are you sure about that? Bloody hell. Sorry, it lagged a bit then. What did you say?
I said George wanted to go to a sperm bank to get money out.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
That's addiction.
What addiction? Oh yeah. Or it's just fueling. That's just his collecting addiction. He's collecting all the sperm. But yeah, I guess we can nicely wrap up there, I suppose. Yeah, I guess we can just wrap up there. Anything you want to say?
I just have to apologise for me cutting in and out. That's the only thing I have to say.
Yeah, shit happens. I mean, the only other option would have just been to do it at a different time, but I just wanted to just do it here and now at the end of the day. Unless we were like lagging all over the place and going, unless something like that happened, I wouldn't want to not do it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Later.
Right.
This is the gaming channel. That is all. Hold on, let's look at the last thing George has put. I think so, because I could put my 5 Yanks a day to good use after my latest purchase at 6. Oh, we didn't talk about Mario, yeah, but George, 5 a day? Are you serious? That sounds a bit,
You got a pepper army between your legs?
yeah. Ridiculous, George, ridiculous. Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Mario, did we? Shit. Alright, see everyone, bye. Later. Nah. The Mario trailer was alright. All the voice actors seemed to do a good job. The worlds look creative. The penguins fighting were hilarious with the snow, and Bowser's like, I do not surrender. And then he just destroys everything. And Mario's with Toad having a laugh, and I think Luigi's running around at the end. So, yeah, it seems alright. Looks alright to me.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent from what I've seen as well.
Fair dues. Well, thankfully, we can nicely wrap up there after George's one final comment, which was very bizarre. So, yeah, have a good one, everyone. See you later.
Goodbye.
Bye. No, it's not, George. It's not good for your health, 5 a day. That's like once every 2 or 3 days. It's good for your health. 5 a day, you're turning your brain to mush. For God's sake, you're just out of it and lazy if you're bloody doing it 5 a day. No one said 5 a day was good for your health, George. Nobody said that.
You know what he's going to say? He's going to say, well, they say eat 5 fruit and veg.
Yeah. George, that's ridiculous. No one said 5 a day is good for your health, because all it does is just make you a lazy arse and not want to do anything. So, and I mean, well, I think we'll just leave it at that. We won't go on if you're, say, if you're lazy or not. But I mean, yeah, there you go. So yeah, see you later, everyone. Have a good one. See ya.
Goodbye.
That is all.